Hi guys, Sean Bougie, surplusfundsriches.net, and today we're going to talk about 6 secret techniques. We're the only ones that teach people how to do this, and we've been doing this for over, about 20 years, teaching people how to do it, about 15 years. So number one, what happens? So number one, claimant has died or there's too much debt, or they won't work with you, or you can't even find them. Is there a way to make money on that? There absolutely is. I'm going to touch on this on the other 5 here. I'm just giving you the overview up front. Number two, one of the two deed holders is dead, and that leaves too little for you to go after because you're only going after half now. Number three, surplus is due to a company that has gone out of business. Number four, debt entitled to the overage, aka surplus funds, is from mom and pop or small business. Number five, there's a lien or judgment against the individual or property that expires soon, maybe in the next year. And number six, claimant can't take the surplus split because they'll lose Medicaid or some other type of benefit. And now, guys, if you watch this entire video with all this free secret sauce stuff and don't give us a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, you have got to be heartless. All right, let's go down to the first one. All right, we're going to start with the most common, where either the claimant is dead or there's too much debt or they won't work with you or you can't even find them. Can you still make money? Most of you guys are throwing that deal away. We have the surplus hybrid program, and this teaches you how to work this. The overview of that is this. You check to see if the claimant went into bankruptcy a couple of years before or after, within that time frame, or after the foreclosure. If they did, you can contact the bankruptcy court, and they will pay you a 25% referral just for telling them where the money is to get it. That's called surplus hybrid program. Anybody that purchases one of our programs can get that as an add-on later if they'd like by using their resources page linked from their ebook to go to the past buyer loyalty discounts page. All right, second secret technique. Let's say we have one of two deed holders has actually died and it leaves you too little money to go after. Maybe there's 10 grand there and that's the minimum you want to go after. One of them has died, so you can only go after 5. Well, if you check the deed, if the deed holders listed on the deed were listed as joint tenants with rights of survivorship, and the deceased person passed before the foreclosure, the deceased person's interest in that property transferred 100% to the surviving deed holder. They own the property, that surviving deed holder, 100%. So they're entitled to 100% of surplus. All right, the debt entitled to the surplus is from a mom and pop or small business. In other words, there was a judgment from Frank's Towing and Salvage or something against the person for $5,000, and they're a small business like that, and they're entitled to surplus in front of the owner. This is why you have to check debt. You can contact that creditor entitled to the funds and either put it together as a surplus funds retrieval, where you're working with them as a claimant, or buy the judgment from them for pennies on the dollar using an assignment and collect as the creditor. You're now the creditor. It was assigned to you. This is taught in the overage judgment recovery program. What if the surplus is due to a company that has gone out of business? Well, if you check with the Secretary of State's website to see if the owners of that business, see if it's possible to reinstate, 9 times out of 10 it is, guys. You can contact the owner and buy the company, not the surplus, for next to nothing and reinstate or reactivate the company. You own it now and you're due the surplus, collect it, and then after you collect it, because you own the business now, and you're the business owner, after you collect it, then shut the business down after you cash the check. That's called our zombie business reviver system. Nobody's teaching you guys this. All right, what if there's a lien or judgment against an individual or the property that's soon to expire, right? It's there. You can't collect right now. Maybe it's going to expire in the next 6 months, 12 months. How do you go after that deal? Well, in this instance, you can contract with the claimant now, and this does carry some risk, guys, that the lien or judgment holder could claim their portion of the surplus, right? But if they don't, and the lien or judgment expires, you can claim for the claimant after it expires. Typically, most judgments expire in 10 years. In some states, it's 20. Look up the statutes for the state. If it has expired and they haven't made a claim before the expiration date, you can get it for the claimant. You'd have to wait, obviously, on that. Do not do this if the lien or judgment is the IRS or estate tax lien, guys, as they can play dirty. They won't respond, and they can kind of play dirty and extend their judgment or lien. Lastly, the claimant can't take their split because they'll lose some benefits, maybe Medicaid, something else. There's 2 fixes to this, guys. The first one is set up a Medicare, Medicaid trust account. I believe it's Medicaid, where the money is sent there to be available to the trust for the benefit of covering other expenses. They don't, because it went into a trust, the claimant doesn't have to show that as income and therefore doesn't lose their benefits. They cannot take the funds directly, guys, if you're doing this. And it does incur additional cost and time from you. The other fix, a little more simple, is to set up your structured buyout. You set up a structured buyout with them to pay out over this year and next, or this year and the next 2 years, whatever, so that the total amount doesn't hit in 1 year and cause them to lose their benefits. Nobody else is talking about this stuff because nobody else has been doing this for as long as we have. Nobody else has worked over 20,000 files. Check us out at surplusfundsriches.net.